Off the Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Cake Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight.
Today's the kitchen sink episode of OTR. We got a bit of everything. Baseball stars, underground punk, loudmouth radio guys, and beautiful models. Never to be confused with the loudmouth radio guys. Someone is going to walk off this set and will be OTR's Intercontinental Arguing Champ. That was for you, Jeff Merrick.
That's pretty strong. Thanks.
Okay, let's find out who's on today's show. Look at Aubrey Huff. You had a bust-out season last year for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. This year, 10 home runs, so you're on a roll once again. You're wearing makeup. Usually when a baseball player's wearing makeup, we think he's a New York Met.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here, and I'll tell you what, this is my first time wearing makeup, and I feel pretty sexy.
Scott Marshall, you've worn it before, but that's, of course, just recreation. You are the guitarist for Belvedere, the hardest-working band in Canada. You tour all over. You've got a new CD that was actually released in March. It's called Hometown Advantage. Thanks for taking time from your busy schedule
Thanks
to
for
stop
having
in.
me here. Happy to be here.
I was talking about Jeff Merrick.
Hey.
We love the fact that you do our show regularly. You're the host of the Jeff Merrick Show, also the host of Live Audio Wrestling. Our wrestling shows, people say you ask the best questions, and one of the biggest reasons is you, because you help me with those.
You're
Thanks
kind.
very much, Jeff.
No makeup bit for me? No little subtle Mike Piazza reference for me? And
well, when you put some makeup on, maybe I'll make a point. You're looking a little peaked. Great to welcome Mo Kelso to the show. You are looking wonderful, as always. A very successful actor, model, and artist. You'll tell us what's going on in your life later on, okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. And we start with a thought. Whether it's a beanball or a knee-to-knee hit, intent is everything. And despite what Oprah says, you can't always tell what a man is thinking. Last night's Devils sends lose 4-1 and may have lost Wade Redden. Here's the facts. Turner Stevenson's knee collided with Redden's. Now the analysis sends Curtis Lasician said it looked like he stuck his knee out. I'm sure the league will look at it soon. If you don't think you can make contact with your shoulder, there's no reason to stick the knee out, unquote. Stevenson said, I'm not out there to hurt guys. First question, did that look like a dirty hit to you?
Well, I've watched a lot of hockey in my time, and I got to tell you, that looked like the unintentional cheap shot right there. Got like a pitcher throwing inside. They say they didn't do it. That looked a little bit unintentional there.
But it looked like he was going right for the boards. I mean, his face was in the direction of the boards.
With the knee sticking out to the left there.
He was going fast, especially when you're around the net like that. You know, it wasn't open ice. I would say he was going for the boards, and the knees connected, and
Stevenson's coming around. Stevenson's coming around the net. He's trying to hit Wade Redden. Wade Redden at the last minute steps aside so that he gets his shoulder. Won't take the hit like a hockey player is supposed to in the playoffs behind the net where all the impact happens. And because he gets out of the way because he's a pussy, he got hammered.
But you just said yourself, that's where all the action takes place. So it's very easy that guys are going to collide back there.
Absolutely.
Especially when one's going for the boards and the other one is coming for the puck.
Well, it's like an instinct thing when you're going,
like an
when you're skating by one another, you just stick the leg out, and you have to know not to do that.
But I don't think he did stick his leg out. And then Stevenson doesn't have a rep for doing that either. And it'd be a lot easier to tell him.
How much of a responsibility does a guy have to be to make sure that the opposition doesn't get hurt? Like, I don't think anyone's going to look at that and say, that was a Brian Marchman type of knee-on-knee hit where he was trying to put him out. But on the other hand, is it okay to play reckless, whether it's a guy like that or whether it's a Major League Baseball pitcher?
Well, when you're trying to, in baseball especially, you got to do what you got to do to protect your teammates. Somebody throws at you, you know, normally you want the other team to do it in the right way. You want to get hit in the back, in the butt. You're not going, if you go after my head, then there's something wrong. You're going to go after the pitcher.
But a pitcher can be more effective if he plays recklessly. If you go to the plate and you know that there's a chance,
you got a guy throwing 95 miles an hour that's throwing balls all over the place. I mean, to me, that's more scary. I'd have less success on a guy like that than Maddox, who's putting pitches wherever he wants it.
But can you compare that to hockey, though? I mean,
oh, absolutely not.
These are players that are...
The question that I'm wondering about is it okay to play reckless? I mean, like I say, no one's going to say that Stevenson went out there to try to hurt the guy, but there's a level that you can play.
You hit to hurt in the playoffs, and you don't do it cheap, but you do it good. You do it like Bertuzzi did on McInnes. McInnes comes back in Game 7, and won't go into the boards to back check. Coughs up the puck. So
I think, you know, I'd even go one more and say, you know, in playoff hockey, I think you demand that you play a little bit reckless out there, especially when if you're up by 4. If you're up by 4 goals, even if you're down by 4 goals, you're all about sending a message.
Is it okay to judge